Hi there, welcome back to the channel where we keep you updated with the latest and greatest in space-themed gaming. Today we're going to be looking at an early preview of an ambitious title that's been creating waves in some sections of the gaming community, Starship Simulator. So buckle up as we set a course to the final frontier. So first of all, what is Starship Simulator? Starship Simulator is a highly detailed, immersive game that allows the player to experience crewing a starship 200 years in the future. The ship itself is inspired by retrofuturism, and the ship has over 200 rooms, many of which are not yet finished, but players can explore the entirety of the ship's 7 decks and beyond into a galaxy simulated using real-world astrophysics. And in the finished game, players can assume various roles aboard the ship, from captain to morale officer, each providing unique challenges and gameplay experiences. Alright, so let's get into the gameplay. I've had a quick go earlier on to familiarise myself with the key elements of the demo, but we start off in the conference room, and I have to say I think it's nicely decorated. I just think it looks great. But first off, here's my first tip for you if you were to try this. You might want to turn off the head bobbing. In my opinion, it's a bit too much, and I found it to be disorientating. And the way to turn it off isn't overly clear, but you have to cycle through the camera options. And you can toggle through those options using the C key. One of the first cool things I noticed was the window control panel. The polarization option is especially good. There's also a screen projection option if you fancy a break from space, which I thought was fantastic. You can turn this on and give yourself a little glimpse of home. There are a lot of options to play around with here, and I'll let you explore that yourself. But as you move around the ship, you'll notice that there are control panels everywhere, and they're all functional. They all do something. Across from the conference room, you'll find the EXO's office, and next to that, the captain's office. I've noticed that the texture of Earth looks a little low resolution at the moment, but the reflections off the shiny hull are impressive. There are a lot of items that you can pick up and move around using the mouse wheel, but at the moment, they don't do anything other than that. You can pick them up, and that's about it. The corridor design on the command deck looks great in my view. I love the wavy wood panels and the classy benches. It just looks fantastic. Ship customization is pretty fun too. Press F3 and you can change different colours and textures of the walls and the floors. You can rename the ship. I've had a bit of fun with that, although it would be cool if they added an option to save or at least see the colour number so that you can use the same colour for the walls and floors. But for now, let's just reset to the default settings. This here is the bridge, and I like it a lot. I like the number of windows. In Star Trek, you usually have a small display panel, but here we've got actual windows and you can see all around, which is fantastic. There are different stations, not all are active right now. For now, we have sensors, helm, and basic light settings for the captain and the XO. But there's something just cool about sitting in the command chair, and the chair swivels. And from your seat, you can change different light settings, which I imagine will eventually be linked up to the shield generation system. You'll see a lot of work in progress stickers everywhere, which is fine. But the view from the bridge is great. To set a travel destination, the sensor station can filter through different options, in-system targets and solar system targets. Let's set a target for Mercury for now. Once selected, you send it to the helm. The central display now changes to show an in-system map, which looks great. The helm control is straightforward. The ship can fly manually, but it's best to use the autopilot for now. And you can use the data sent from the sensor station to set a target. Then engage the autopilot to align with the target. And then manually engage the FTL engine. Then just sit back and watch as the ship flies away. Now let's change the cameras to an external view. The ship looks a bit basic and unfinished at the moment. It's hard to see the shiny hull from this perspective, but we can see that the colour of the hull does align with Star Trek a bit more closely. This time, let's set a designation a bit further away, out of the system. Let's head to Bernard's star. I'll click it, scan it, and then send the info to the helm as before. And I love how the HUD has changed again. We go through the same process as before. And while we're en route there, let's explore the ship a bit. There's an elevator that goes down one level, but the stairs are pretty cool and it's worth looking at. There's a nice bar and there's some slick warp-like animations outside the ship, which is a nice backdrop when enjoying a cool beverage with your crewmates. The turbo lift hasn't yet been finished, although that will be useful because there are 7 different decks to explore. Imagine the deck here includes quarters for the officers. It's very much the standard layout of Starfleet here, and I'm sure they'll look good when finished. The layout of the decks seems to be that there are different rings, a centre, then there are outer circle corridors with rooms between, and I have to say I like that design a lot. It does make sense if you think about a circular ship. Moving on to Deck C, the science labs. As far as I can tell, there are no finished rooms at the moment. But the signage gives you some idea of what to expect. And look at that, we've just arrived at our destination, a ringed gas dwarf. That noise indicates that we've just arrived. The next 2 decks are habitation decks for the rest of the crew. Again, none of the rooms are finished yet as far as I can tell. And last time I ventured into that room there, I got stuck, so I better not do that this time. There are going to be other stairways to navigate through the habitation decks, which will be nice when finished. The main impression I get is just how big this ship appears to be. The bottom deck, Deck F, is for engineering. After the command centre, this deck seems to have had the most attention from the developers. There are plenty of panels down here that I don't understand really. But I do get the impression that if I were to press something wrong, the ship could blow up. Well, I think that's enough for now. You all get the idea. The positives for me for Starship Simulator is that it feels like a real place, albeit unfinished. But you can walk the whole ship pretty much, and it gives you a real sense of size. The performance is good. I haven't experienced any lag so far, and the navigation system is well thought out and works as expected. The command deck looks great, and I can see where the team are heading with this. On the other hand, it does seem to be a very ambitious project, and will the team be able to deliver? So far, they're off to a good start, and I'm excited to see how this game develops. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, but until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.